All right, here we go. What's up, everybody? It's Bobby with Tech360.tv, back in the Tech360 offices to talk about 5 things you need to know about the 2018 iPad Pro. All right, let's talk about design. Okay, bezel-less display, there's no more home button on it, and the footprint is even smaller. Now, honestly, when I first got this, I thought to myself, did I get the wrong iPad? I thought this was like the 11-inch variant because it's that much smaller. Putting it next to each other like this, you can see the difference. Look at that. Look at this. Apple killed a lot of wasted space on this thing, man. They really optimized the size of it, which is great. All right, let's talk about the display. Now, the display, of course, is the most color-accurate display Apple has ever put into an iPad, as they say. They always say this in every, launch, but it's true. It's very color-accurate. It's beautiful. The screen is vibrant. I think it's upwards to 500 nits or even higher than that. It's just really bright. And look at this. Look at this. 120 hertz, baby. That is what it's all about. Every device should be doing 120 hertz by now. It's 2018. Razer's the only phone that's doing it, and I'm surprised because Apple's got it looking beautiful on the iPad Pro. But what happened to this? What happened to this? But yeah, you can do more than just flick photos. You can play games, especially in gaming, it's going to come into play. I'm not a big gamer, but if you really want to get into it, it's got the power, like I said, comparable to an Xbox One S. So 120 hertz display, gaming, you're good, but this is a hell of an expensive gaming machine. All right, let's talk about Face ID for a moment here. Now, Face ID is new on this, and you got different angles you can do Face ID now. It's not just like the iPhone where you got to hold it up one way like this and you got to look at it. No, the iPad has cameras and however the magic they've got going on in this thing, so you can look at it on an angle, portrait, landscape, all that kind of stuff. Case in point, I'm in landscape, boom, I'm already unlocked, ready to go. Let's take it off the case. Unlocked. It's that easy. It's just, this is the best thing for Face ID. Now, you don't need to do this on an iPhone because obviously you don't hold your iPhone upside down. For the most part, you hold your iPhone right side up. It works. But the iPad, you're going to hold it in all different sizes. So, it makes sense that they did that. So, pretty good on Apple. Good thinking on that. Now you just got to figure out, put it back in the case like that because you never know. There's no way to tell upside down otherwise with this now because all the bezels are symmetrical. And then, talking about entertainment for a second, let's talk about the speakers on this thing. What the hell is Apple putting into this? What juice? I mean, you're probably thinking, you sound like a fanboy now. No, honestly, I am going to play a video for you. And because Avengers Endgame trailer just came out, I think it's only right that I play the trailer to this. We're having a moment with Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark. Look at this. Beautiful. What else is new? Oh, it is USB-C, baby. It's USB-C. You know what that means now? You have a lot more options with this. Same as your MacBooks, your MacBook Pros, your MacBook Airs, it's USB-C. So that means you're gonna have to get different adapters. So if you have, let's say this iPad Pro and you had the SD card with the Lightning, goodbye, you gotta buy a new one, which is not a good thing, but it does offer a lot of opportunity and you can actually attach storage to this. But there is a caveat to that, I have to say this, is that the storage, it has to be a flash drive and the iPad Pro will only detect photos and videos. Now, I was told of a little hack you can do to use flash drives so you can import your photos and videos, and what you have to do is input it into a DCIM folder. So just create a folder, label it DCIM, the iPad Pro will recognize it and import your photos and videos from your flash drive into your iPad Pro. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Also, something else different is the new pencil. They've done some cool things with this pencil with the iPad as well. This is the old pencil. This is the new pencil. It has a little flat side to it. It's not as round, not as bulky, but there's a reason for the flat side is because you now don't have a large appendage going to the back of the side of it to charge it. It charges wirelessly. As you can see, 100%, it charges. They took the feedback from a lot of people out there that said that this way of charging an Apple Pencil for the old way, sticking it at the bottom like this, was not the brightest thing. Now, I know a lot of you out there, wait, they did include a little charging adapter to put in the box for, to use by cable. I know, But no one's gonna carry around that little adapter. I'm sorry, it was a little tiny thing. This is so much better. You've got a little double tap feature now, so if you want to, let's say, get into notes, you can do erasing. So hi, and then I can double tap, and it goes to eraser. You see that? Look at that. You've seen this in all the reviews, and then I can go back and I can erase, right? Quick to charge, writes beautifully. It's everything you want in an Apple Pencil. They nailed it. They knocked it out of the park. So what else besides the Apple Pencil? We've got up to 1 terabyte of storage on this thing. This is truly a pro machine. 1 terabyte of storage on an iPad. It costs money to have 1 terabyte of storage. Costs a lot, but now you have it. Apple's provided that, so I do applaud them for that. Okay, so let's talk about the iPad Pro. Apple says it's the desktop replacement. Is it a desktop replacement? And I will say it depends on your usage. And I said this on our last year's iPad Pro review with iOS 11, and iOS 12 has improved slightly for someone that's just browsing the web and using Word documents in day-to-day usage and maybe watching YouTube videos and really is not into any sort of heavy computing. You can get by on this. As a matter of fact, I did test this exclusively for a couple weeks. I wasn't missing my laptop at all. I mean, it does everything I needed to do. But if you are a pro user, you can and you can't. For me personally, and I'll give you my experiences. I don't edit video like others do out there. I do a lot of photo editing, so I use Lightroom, I use Affinity Photo. As part of my workflow, I love using it with the Apple Pencil because it's kind of like having a Wacom tablet, to get into the details of it. I can do that on the iPad Pro. However, if I need to export images in different formats, let's say in Lightroom, they only allow JPEG right now. Affinity Photo is different. You can do TIFF, you can do PNG, you can do all that stuff. But if you want to move your workflow around, you are quite limited by what the apps allow you to do. So for me, I found that if I want to work strictly in Lightroom and Photoshop, I have to use a PC more. Currently, that might change, but you can do a lot on this iPad. You're just gonna have to change the way you kind of do computing. And I guess that's sort of where Apple's going with this as the Pro tablet. Because if you look at this as a traditional laptop, you're going to get frustrated. But if you look at it as a new way of interacting with the device, there are opportunities and there's potential there that you might not have realized. And I think that kind of goes back to when Steve Jobs announced the original iPhone. Everybody goes, whoa, all these gestures and pinch to zoom and all this stuff. It was just a different way of using a phone. It took people a while to get used to it. Now it's just our way of life. That might be the case with the iPad Pro. However, here is where my problem with the iPad Pro comes into play. It has nothing to do with this machine. My problem is the price point. Here, a top of the line iPad Pro is around $3,000 plus. That's a lot. That sort of makes you go, oh, well, if I get an iPad Pro, I don't know if I can afford a MacBook or a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air or anything else, because that's a lot of money. And that's not including the keyboard. That's not including the Apple Pencil, which doesn't come with it. That's just the iPad. That's a lot. And I have a feeling that Apple's now making you choose, do I get a laptop or do I get an iPad? And I feel that's not the right way to go about it, because until this can do 90% of what your MacBook Pro can do, I don't feel it's fair or it's right for Apple to charge the price of a MacBook Pro for an iPad Pro. Not yet. Maybe next year that will all change. Maybe next year we'll be doing a whole new video going, you know what? I get it now. Apple's right to charge this amount. I'll pay for it. But as it stands right now, I feel it's a little bit too expensive. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the iPad Pro 2018. Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. We love subscribers. We love to hear back from you. I'm very responsive on YouTube, so if you leave a comment, good, bad, or otherwise, I'll more than likely respond to you unless you will insult me, which then I just will ignore you. But follow us on Facebook, and until the next one, take care.